Hey guys, I haven't joined the last Google Code Jam because it was late midnight and I need to work today. And it was midnight through 2:30 this morning, and I need to work, so I didn't really join it. But hey, I'm still actually I will join the um, this weekend. I will join the 1C round 1C this weekend. So let's learn more about coroutine maybe. Let's have a recap around the coroutine. If there is anything that is worth taking a look at. So where did we stop this time? Let's run a lot of them. So yeah, I'm going to start over because last time I failed to finish this elegantly. So we all know Coroutine already. If you don't know enough about Coroutine, just take a look at my last few episodes. That would be from um, episode 46, I guess, through 60, and let's have a really quick recap of what coroutines are. So these are just the Gradle IntelliJ ideas setup. So let's skip that. And where are we? Oh, so after the setup, we can run our first coroutine, and we use the launch scope to do this. So that means we can see from this example that we started the coroutine and print a hello there, and then we stop. So if this is like the delay is suspending function. Suspending functions are the functions that can only be called in a coroutine, or I think there's a way to run it asynchronously, right? Coroutine. Oh, it's actually calling suspend function. So I think coroutine, suspend functions can only be called inside the coroutine. Suspending functions. So, we use the normal sequential invocation, and let's take a look at the full code. It's still in the run blocking, is it? I think it is. Where is this measure time milliseconds? Measure time. Wow. Yeah, we still need to call it in a suspend, in a coroutine, but the sequence is guaranteed. So I don't think there's a way to call suspend functions in I don't think there is such. Yeah, there's a run blocking. Oh, so run blocking is basically just blocking the thread when the function is suspended. From Java to Kotlin. So I think no. I believe no, but I can't find if there is a claim that is explicitly talking about that idea. So let's assume it's not. It's always. It needs to be caught in a coroutine. Compose basics. Only allowed to be called from a coroutine. Ah, there it is. So one way to do that would be run blocking, which blocks the coroutine when it is suspended. Okay, makes sense. And where were we? So that's why we need to call this in this coroutine, the global scope dot launch, and it is a so a suspend function basically means that in the middle of this function, or at least at the end of this function, things might this computation can be suspended, and the computation power can be yield to others if needed. So that means let me see what that means. So global scope.launch basically means is equivalent to you're launching a coroutine on the default dot dispatcher dot default dispatcher, and that coroutine would that dispatcher would is attached to or I don't think attaches itself is clear. How about associate? It is associated to various threads, and the coroutine itself can be run on every part between suspending points. A suspending point is what I just mentioned to be where the computation power is yielded, and every part between suspending functions can be run on any thread that is associated on this dispatcher. So that's why, although these are in a block that is before this this thread and thread dot sleep, something can still happen between when this thread is when this main thread is blocked and not working. That's how there's another thread, and we can still get things done on it after a 1000 millisecond delay. So that's the basic idea. This runnable like thing or just a code block or a lambda is still executed on another coroutine. So let's run a lot of them. So suspend functions, like I just said, are only allowed to be called from a coroutine or another suspend function. And we can also do things like val job. Oh, okay, wait. Maybe run blocking. Oh, so it's actually malfunctioning. The sentence function join. Oh, I think this is the last. So with this block, I think it's going to be print ln start stop hello. Oh, or maybe it's not working at all. Is it that run blocking's fault? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is just some error of that of Kotlin. I mean this tutorial site. Oh, but it's actually working with this. If I get that job, then it is not run, really? That would be really weird. Okay, so it is run. How about I would say that's Replis in a run blocking maybe. Or maybe the run blocking itself is not a. Is it this? I don't actually remember. Does the run blocking block needs? Oh, it don't need a. It is not initialized. It's a keyword instead. So maybe how about this? Still not joining. Yeah, I think it's not joining. Ta -ta 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 -ta. Wait. Yeah, a job can be joined, and with that, it's going to be start, hello. It's still going to be start, hello, and stop. But without this join, it's going to be start and stop because the hello is not weighted. Because it's at global scope, and global scope are, it will not, global scope would be cancelled when, um, when the outer, um, when the whole main, the containing block of that job is finished. That's what I believe, at least. So you can also explicitly join a job. I don't know. Do we really need it to be an inner run blocking? I think so. Yeah. So that's it. And what else? Yeah, it's just talking about how the suspend function needs to be in a coroutine. That's why we're using thread.sleep in the initial example. So if we run a lot, really a lot of them, it's still going to be working. Oh, if you start a lot of threads, um, and it's just going to be take a lot of time. But if you're using coroutine, it's going to be less than 1 second. Oh, but um, so because some coroutine don't finish before main prints the result. Where is the print? Oh, here it is. We get it. Add and get. Oh, okay. So this is adding, a lot of adding of this. It's supposed to be 1 million, but it's actually not printing 1 million. So we can simply fix this with some concurrent techniques, like something we have just introduced in episode 60. But another way to start, oh, I need a full example. This is a little bit vague, I would say. So basically what this plug is talking about is if we So here the idea is to run a lot of coroutine and sum them up, and instead of storing everything in the atomic long, you can actually just have a place where the increment is not shared. I mean, the sum itself is shared inside a specific run blocking coroutine. So this data is not shared. The only every time there is a coroutine, um, it is only written to, but not but not let's see. How do we know that this sum by is asynchronous? I mean, is thread safe? Sum by Kotlin. Is it thread safe? I need that sum by. How do we know this is thread safe? Because it's run blocking, is it? It dot await. So wait, it dot await. Deferred. Oh, so exactly. Wait. Iterable. Deferred is a iterable. What does this map returns? Oh, it returns a lot of coroutines, and there's a coroutine dot sum by. Coroutine itself is iterable. Oh no, this is because this is a map. Dot map. So map is map iterable. Kotlin. I don't think it's iterable by default. Java map. Yeah, I don't think map is iterable in Java. Sum by. Yeah, I don't think. What does that returns? Map. Map. Oh, this is actually not a map interface. It's a list dot map, and that is basically another list, I would say. Kotlin. Yep, an array to a list. So this is a list, and we call a iterable dot sum by to it. So the problem is, how do we know that sum by is thread safe. Oh, actually no. Um, we have a list of jobs that are already working upon creation, and the it.await here is to get the value one by one. So yes, they will be synced. It would be thread safe. And here it talks about how we are sure that these coroutines are running parallelly. It is ensured that, and the way to ensure that is to add a delay in it, and we still see everything got finished in 10 seconds rather than like 11 days. So the last part would be suspending functions. Now let's say we want to extract our workload, which is wait 1 second and return a number into a separate function. So that's the function, but we actually want suspend function. So we add a suspend keyword to it, and nothing else needed to be changed. So later we can call workload in a global scope. And the global scope, the difference between global scope dot async and global scope dot launch would be, where is it? It would be with async, the a deferred instead of job would be returned. So it is basically just like the Java feature. And we are at we have used up all the time, and I hope you guys are enjoying that. So that is the end of Learning Kotlin Live episode 62. We will probably go back to revisit some Kotlin features rather than coroutine features in the near future. And as I have mentioned, I probably would stop this, at least pause this Learning Kotlin Live streaming recently because I have other goals to do. I don't know if I'm going to resume it soon, but if I do, see you then. So I just like to let you guys know earlier. And that's all for today. Bye bye.